I'm back. Hi, everyone. It's Mimi Smith-Fall, founder and head designer at Theron Design Studio. I'm back today to talk to you about the top 10 mistakes most of us make when hiring a contractor. So, last time we talked about getting proposals from three contractors to try to parcel out like what exactly is going to be covered and making sure that they're giving you a cost for every project that they're going to be working on in your home or at your business. So we need to know what is the scope of work, okay? So the scope of work, the SOW, is going to clearly define all of the cost attributed, and you want to make sure that you are looking at apples to apples when you're dealing with three different contractors bidding on the same work. That is very important. As you're going through the scope of work or the proposal, oftentimes you will also see the terms and conditions. Sometimes that's not revealed until you get to the contract, but if they supply it, go over not only the proposal, line item by line item, make sure you're understanding also their terms and conditions. So, terms and conditions are narratives that spell out exactly how they work. Okay. The terms and conditions would cover something like um, that their work hours are from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 5, and they don't work on weekends, or they do work on weekends. Sometimes contractors like to work at least on Saturdays, and then Sunday is their day off. So if you don't see that in the proposal, or you've decided to go forward, you want to make sure you see it in the contract. Ask them to add it to the contract if it's not there. Also, terms and conditions you want to consider is termination clauses. If you come to a place where they're not getting the work done in the time that they have allotted, or they're not showing up, or they're not communicating with you, you want to make sure in the terms and conditions you know how to terminate the contract. Okay, so let's review. First, we have the license. That's number one. Look out for that. Make sure you get a copy of it. Then we have the certificate of insurance that needs to be made out to the owner of the property, which if it's a homeowner would be you. And if it's a commercial project, then it would be the landlord. And then next up, you're going to get pictures. We talked about whether the website is right or not, and if it's something that they have actually done the work. Some people are a little shady, so be careful. But if they're in your home or at your business, just ask for photographs. Let me see on your phone the photographs of the work that you've done. That's very easy. It's very clear, right? The next up would be get 3 references from each contractor and make sure you call them. It doesn't help if you just get the reference. You need to call the individuals that have worked with these companies before and make sure you're clear that this is the person you want in your home or in your business. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, get a cost proposal. The cost proposal should at least be delineated by having, excuse me, line items of what they're going to be doing. It could be demolition is one, electrical is one, flooring is another. Make sure you are understanding what those line items are and then compare apples to apples when it comes to looking at 3 different contractors. Remember, we talked about that in the first video. Then we talked about the scope of work, the SOW. What is being covered in those cost proposals? Or if you've already gotten to the contract and you're reviewing it, what are they giving you for the money that they're asking for? The scope of work, or the SOW, should be very clearly defined. Now, oftentimes, the contractor will literally take the language from the original proposal and just insert it into the contract, but they should also add in their terms and conditions, which is number 7. So terms and conditions are when they're going to work, what days they're going to work, what are their hours, is there a termination clause, is there something in their terms and conditions that says that they are responsible or that there is a penalty if they miss the timeline. Those are under terms and conditions. And sometimes, some people just put it all in one contract, but you want to read that. You want to make sure you're clear on that. And then now we're at number 8. Sit down with the selected contractor face to face and go over the contract before you sign off on it. That is very important. At this time, you've already gone through all 3 of the contractors. You've looked at proposals. You've done your due diligence and your homework. Talk to them about the contract and make sure as you're going through each line item, each scope of work, in the scope of work, each line item, make sure you're clear what you are getting for your money. Okay? So we're up to number 8 already. I hope this has been helpful to you, because what we want you to do is we want you to be an intelligent consumer, an intelligent client, so that you know what you're getting yourself into and you're understanding clearly. And let me just say one more thing. The other thing that's really important is when you're reading the contract, this could be number 9, or we can just call it number 8.5. Make sure in the contract that you are also clear about what they are buying, which is usually construction material, and what you are buying. Now, there's so many different contracts that I can't go into all of them, but sometimes you'll find that a contractor is supplying only the construction material, the studs, the subfloor, whatever it is. You are the person who is responsible sometimes to supply the actual fixtures, like a faucet in a bathroom or a double vanity, the tile that goes on the floor. Sometimes you're responsible for that. So make sure you're clear on that. Or you could also have a contractor that will give you allowances. They'll say, okay, so for $30,000, we're going to renovate this bathroom and we're giving you an allowance of $3 per square foot for tile on the floor, $3 per square foot of tile on the wall. We're giving you, let's say $700 for a vanity. And that's already in their contract and line item. That's why you got to go through these contracts. What they may say is, okay, so we're giving you $700 for the vanity. Well, if you want to hire in vanity, you're going to want to have what we're going to talk about next, which is a contingency. And the contingency is defined as money, in my vocabulary, it's defined as money that you set aside for things that are needed or wanted. Okay, so we are at number 8. We're at number 8, and we're going to talk about it on our next video. So please join us. Remember, we're talking about the top 10 mistakes most people make when hiring a contractor, and we don't want you to make those mistakes. That's why we put this video together. We want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into before you sign on that dotted line, because it is a legal binding document when you are hiring these contractors, and you want to make sure you don't get burned through the process. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.